Okay, quick video, just like that kid's quick life. I did not make that joke.
On January 7th, 2022 at nearly 8 p.m., 3 dumpster divers outside of a JCPenney's in New Mexico made a
No, that's fucked, bro. That's fucked. Why can't I just shut the
discovery.
fuck up, bro? I'm sorry.
Here you see the divers huddled around a black trash bag. What you can't hear is the whining that was coming from the bag.
Oh my god!
The dumpster divers, April Meadow, Hector Gesso, and Michael Green, believed the pitiful noise had to be a whining cat or dog, something that may have climbed into the dumpster accidentally. Instead, they're horrified by the truth of what they found. A living, breathing baby boy wrapped in a trash bag was left in that dumpster to die. With its umbilical cord intact, this child had no chance of survival after being abandoned. Upon finding the child, April Meadow is seen rushing off camera with the child in her grasp, wiping it off with the towel it was wrapped in. The crew called law enforcement shortly after this, all the while wondering who could do something like this.
Hello, 911?
Yeah, we just found the baby in the trash.
I'm so glad. Listen, I'm so glad the baby's alive, bro. Not because I love the baby, but so that my joke wasn't so fucking evil, bro. I would have gone to hell. Let's be real, bro. I would have gone to hell, bro. What the fuck?
The infant child.
Is it breathing?
In the goddamn trash. Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Hello, yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me about the baby?
He still got his umbilical cord.
J3, what is this, bro? J3, 3 visualizations in private? With your moderator and with you? What is that? Truth Messenger. What? Oh!
He's freezing cold, and he's barely, like, he's drained, like, he's very weak.
The police were on the scene quickly. The same surveillance footage from roughly 6 hours earlier than when the baby was found shows a white 4-door Volkswagen Jetta pulling into a nearly empty parking lot and stopping in front of a line of 3 large green dumpsters. A woman exits the driver's side door and opens the back passenger door. She then grabs a black bag from the back and casually throws it into the open dumpster on the far right, before hastily getting back into the vehicle and driving away. The entire incident only takes 30 seconds, but the damage has been done. It's too late to take it back. The alleged driver of that car, Alexis Avila, 18, is seen here, waiting for questioning. Brought in only a little while after the baby was recovered from the dumpster, Alexis is seated against the wall, giving her the feeling that she is trapped and has nowhere to go.
Oh, yeah, she's
The following interrogation has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney and former criminal prosecutor, a licensed clinical psychologist.
Shut up, bitch, I'm speaking. This is the best interrogation room I've ever seen. Bro, she gets no fucking room. Remember the last one we saw? That girl was on the black couch. She was like this, bro. Now she gets no fucking... Look. It's like this is the whole dumpster, and she's the baby who was thrown by her. Now she's getting thrown into the fucking dumpster. How does that feel, you little cunt?
Just a psychologist trainee and an individual with a Master of Science in clinical psychology.
Look at that, bro. She's trapped.
Can I have some toilet paper for my nose?
Yeah, we can give you the toilet paper that was right next to your fucking kid, you goddamn witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you that one. PBM King, no more Hon. I've got to play Hon soon, bro. I'll upload 2 videos tonight.
Thank you. Sorry.
To the YouTube. But I gotta play Hon soon. I finally fixed my schedule, so now I can start, being a functional streamer. Hon before the end of this week. Bro, sit over here. Don't let her.
Right. What is your name?
Alexis.
Alexis. What is your full name?
Alexis Nicole Avila.
Okay. So before I do ask you any questions, okay, I do per policy and procedure, I read everybody their rights. It doesn't mean anything other than me making you aware of your rights and you understanding your rights. Does that make any sense? Okay. Do you need any medical attention though before we start? No? Are you okay? So there are bulletins. I'm going to read you each bulletin. If you have any questions,
No, I am fixing it.
feel free to stop me at any point, okay? So,
I
of
woke
course,
up early
you have the
today.
right to
I
remain
just have
silent.
things
You
to
do
do.
not have to
I
say
woke up
anything at
early
all.
today, and I'll
Anything
wake
you
up early
do say
tomorrow.
can be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that part? All right.
We fix it. Tomorrow we're gonna have
As soon as
early
she
stream
sits down, the
after
detective
gym.
reads Alexis the Miranda rights. In doing so, he is assured that later on Alexis can't say she didn't understand her rights. The detective is also
Maybe
extremely
not.
careful in downplaying the Miranda
No, yeah.
rights,
Tomorrow-
because this usually means that the suspect is less likely to request a lawyer, especially if they're young.
And what else do I do?
If you wish to talk to me or not, if you can just initial yes or no.
Oh, she's so fucked. Oh, she's gonna get
Alexis
pressed
seems
heavy.
polite and cooperative. Her tone of voice is soft-spoken. The fact that she moves the paper towel on the table when the investigator spoke, and she maintains eye contact are all indications of respect for authority and a willingness to cooperate.
All right. So I know there's a lot, okay, to talk about, and I just want to ask you, you know,
No, she's gonna say no.
why you think you're here, or what led
No.
us to us being here. All right.
No.
Obviously, I do know information, and the last
I'm
thing I
gonna say
want to
no.
do is, you know, to start off on the wrong foot and for you to
Yeah.
start, you know, lying.
Yeah.
There's always two sides to the story. Obviously, I'm looking at a evidence standpoint, what we were called out
She's
to.
gonna say no.
I don't know what you're going through. If you're going through anything, we're all humans. You know,
No, she's
before
gonna say no.
me being a detective, I'm a father. You know, I'm
My baby's
you know,
missing.
son and stuff like that. We're all human. It doesn't matter what rank we have or how old we are. All right, and that's why, you know, I asked you to come out here and give me your side of the story. Okay, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to question you. I'm not here to accuse you. I'm not here
The baby
to
said something
belittle
racist.
you. That's not what I do. That's not my job.
That's what she's
So
gonna
my job
say.
is to investigate, and that's
The
exactly
baby
what I'm
was
doing.
white.
All right. So if you can, I would kindly ask you just to tell me the truth, and we'll go from there. Okay?
The detective is playing nice here by claiming that he's just doing his job.
How long did it take for her to take out the trash? According to her, 9 months, bro, because she threw in the trash right after he was born. What the fuck?
That he understands there are multiple sides to every story, and all he wants is to hear out hers. With a suspect who is timid and young like this one,
Yeah, I
this
need
is
a
the
haircut,
approach
bro.
most
I need a
officers will
haircut.
use,
I do.
as being aggressive and confrontational will likely make her shut down and less likely to talk to him. More than anything else, the detective wants her to feel safe. He's trying to lull her into a false sense of security. The hope is that she will confess to the alleged
False
crime,
sense of
as a
security.
confession is one of the most important pieces of evidence law enforcement can get. It's extremely difficult to challenge a confession in court, as more often than not, it's all that's needed to convict a suspect.
Because I
Can
need
you tell me
views,
what's
so
going
I
on, what
point
happened
at
today,
people on my feet.
or what led to this?
That's why.
I don't-
Levi, that's
I
why.
mean, I can tell you, but I need you to ask because then I can't tell you because I don't know.
Right.
What?
Okay.
Notice that Alexis says that the only way she can tell him what happened
Is for
is
him
if
to
he asks her
ask?
questions about it, which most likely indicates that she has a rehearsed story ready to go. She's using the questions as a guide to keep her story straight. Further, detectives often ask open-ended questions to elicit narratives. While providing narrative responses, suspects are more likely to share contextual detail
don't know.
and less likely to lie without being detected. This contrasts with close-ended questions that would produce shorter responses, such as yes or no. Her cooperation with questioning seems genuine, not forced or feigned. In interrogations where the suspect seems to have antisocial personality disorder, or APD, they are sometimes compliant, but it often seems almost unnatural. Like they're doing it for their own good, because they're in an interrogation, so it's in their best interest to be cooperative. However, as the interrogation gets more stressful, people with APD often start to show their defiance towards authority. They often become irritable or angry. But Alexis's cooperative attitude doesn't appear to be faked just for the sake of the interrogation circumstance. It's important to note that Alexis has not been formally diagnosed with any psychological disorder.
So, obviously I got confirmation that you were pregnant, okay? Right.
I found that out yesterday.
You found that out
What?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Alexis states that she found out she was pregnant yesterday. This is a detail the interviewer didn't ask for. When a suspect offers up additional information without being asked, the information given is most likely false. Alexis most likely rehearsed this answer and wants to make sure it's on the record before they move on.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Ask me a question, boys. Ask me a question. I'll tell you the truth, but I'll elaborate. I always elaborate on everything, bro. It's not because I'm lying. It's because it's who I am. It's what I do. What the fuck?
So tell me a little bit more about that.
What do you mean? Like...
So how is it that you found out, or how?
Well, I've been having back pain, like, really bad, and I got in an accident September of 2021.
Okay.
Or 2 years ago. And I just thought that's what it was. And, I mean, the pain comes and goes, and so I didn't really think anything much of it.
I have heard some people don't know that.
And it just kept hurting, and so my mom took me to the ER, and they just said that I had some kind of spray, and I don't even know what kind it was. And they just gave me medicine for it, and it wasn't
I find it very hard to believe.
Okay.
But I still didn't think anything much of it.
Very hard to believe.
I gave them my urine sample and see if for infection or anything.
How do you not know you're pregnant?
There was nothing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I've heard about that, but I don't know if it's real.
I went to the clinic and they did a urine sample and they told me I was pregnant, and that's when I found out.
You said it was yesterday?
Yesterday.
And where did you go? To what clinic? What hospital?
The one on Del Paso.
Del Paso? Okay. Which one? Lee?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
The one under construction.
All right. Who took you?
You know, it's
Myself. My parents were at work.
Yeah, I've heard them. They go to the toilet and then they're like...
So I believe your mom said that she had accompanied you, or she took you, or she went with you?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
Very rarely.
I went by myself.
Alexis sticks with the story that she found out she was pregnant yesterday. She goes so far as to say that she took a urine test at the ER, but nothing came back. This is either false, since a urine test would show a woman is pregnant, or she was in the ER early in her first trimester. Since she said she was in the ER recently, both seem unlikely.
Yeah.
The back pain was likely contractions, but it's highly unlikely that she just found out she was pregnant because pregnancy has countless symptoms that would have shown themselves long before actually having to deliver the child.
So, as I mentioned to you before anything, I like to speak, with the truth.
Like, bro,
obviously,
babies
okay,
grow,
I spoke
and they grow
to
fast.
some people, and I know that back in March, is when you spoke to some people, and you told them that you were pregnant, so you had prior knowledge, right? So I'm not gonna.
Back in March.
Right.
You like
somebody by the name of Walker. Do you know anybody? A friend of yours, a school friend of yours, that I spoke with, and she's the one that told me that you knew that you were pregnant.
Walker.
And that you did not want the child.
Walker.
Walker.
Her mom is a nurse at the hospital.
No idea.
She's a friend of yours. You don't know anybody by that name?
Texas Ranger.
No?
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay. Well, that's her mom's last name. But I spoke with her, and she's the one that told me. Obviously, that you knew or had prior knowledge.
No,
right?
I don't know.
Like I said, if you gotta be straightforward.
I don't know Walker.
Okay.
When she is confronted with having told someone named Walker about her pregnancy back in March, she has very little reaction. Notice what Alexis does here. She doesn't deny knowing she was pregnant. Instead, she focuses on the information presented to her by the interviewer, that someone named Walker told him about the pregnancy. She's hyperfixating on this specific phrase and actively avoiding the question. There's a chance Alexis doesn't know anyone named Walker, but that doesn't matter. The detective could be outright lying about the name, or even lying about this information as a whole. But the important part of this is that Alexis does not deny knowing about the pregnancy. Whatever the case, Alexis is not forthcoming with the detective. She displays high levels of resistance, e.g. lying and evasion. Law enforcement typically analyzes suspects' levels of resistance from the onset, as the detective does with Alexis here.
I don't see it right
now.
So,
anyway, explain to me as far as what happened today. How did your day start today?
The same as any other day. Well, for the past couple of days.
Okay.
Try to conquer the world, just like Pinky and the Brains.
I just thought I was, what is it called? I'm sorry.
It's very exhausting, kind of, bro.
I understand.
You should ask your mother. It's very exhausting what I've been doing. Let Let me show you, bro.
Where you can't poop.
Okay. Constipation?
Yeah. I just thought that's what it was.
You just got cooked,
The
boy.
detective is still being very gentle and friendly with Alexis and is trying to have her start creating a timeline for him of the day of the incident. He empathizes with her when she can't recall something to try and build that rapport. The detective has transitioned into the behavioral analysis interviewing stage of the Reed technique. During this stage, you will ask Alexis fact-based, non-confrontational questions and monitor her behavioral responses. You will compare Alexis's nonverbal responses to these questions to her nonverbal responses to more crime-relevant questions later in the interrogation to inform a determination on whether she is answering honestly.
Okay,
Literally whole day, and
I was doing shit, bro, okay, around the house that I needed to do because I've been an irresponsible human being, okay? And tomorrow I will go... And tomorrow I will go to the gym and then I will stream early. I woke up very early today, actually. I just had shit to do, bro.
go to sleep and
I
then
had to
go back
clean
to
a couple of things because I live with
restroom.
roommates, right? And I haven't cleaned in a couple of
Okay.
weeks.
So
I
what
had
time
to
did
clean.
your day start?
Yeah. And it was a lot.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
And since I'm not a woman, I don't get the woman buff with cleaning, okay? I'm extra papaja with cleaning. I don't get the woman buff, bro. I don't have that buff, you know?
Alexis continues to stick with her story,
could've
at
finished
times
in,
to
like, half an hour.
disastrous results. She fumbles over.
I could have finished in half an hour if I had the expertise. But instead I finished on somebody's mom in half an hour, Tyler. But I don't think you want me to tell you whose mom. So that set me back.
Her answers as she tries to only repeat her rehearsed lines. She even throws in a "to be honest" at the end of some of her statements. People will use a qualifier like this in hopes it will make the statement appear more truthful. When someone is telling the truth, they don't generally feel a need to outwardly state they are being honest after saying something.
So you don't know what time you woke
Tomorrow the
up,
stream's gonna
or
be
are you
early and it
working?
ends
Do you
late.
go to school?
I go to school, but I haven't been to school.
Tomorrow, no,
Yeah,
6
but-
hours.
And I didn't have work.
10 hour.
Okay.
10 hours.
Where are you working at?
Martinville.
Okay.
Many
So
different
you haven't
things.
been going to school this whole week?
No.
No? Because you've been sick, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't know what time you woke up. Obviously a lot happened, okay?
Right.
So I just
yeah,
wanted
no,
to get
I
a time frame as
I
far as...
wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay. You don't know what time you wake up. But you
No.
woke up
Yeah, right.
at your parents'
I don't
house
know
where
what
you
I
live?
did today, bro.
What's your address? Okay. You woke
That
up there, you
represents-
live with your parents?
Right.
Okay. What did you do when you woke up?
I went to the
I took a
restroom.
shit.
Okay.
I was in pain. I was up all night going.
I took a
I
shit.
was asleep
And then my
I go
baby
to the
came
restroom.
out.
Mhm.
Just all hours of the night, all day today.
Okay. So what happened after you
I took
started
a
going to
shit
the
and then my
restroom?
baby came out.
I just went back to sleep because I couldn't go.
Oh, come on. And then...
Alexis says she's missed the last week of school. We know from a statement of a friend of hers that she also missed the week leading up to holiday break, meaning she hasn't been to school in roughly a month. This could imply she may have known she was pregnant but didn't have a due date, so she spent a month at home.
Bro.
And
She
then
fucked
after
so
that,
much she didn't even know
what did she
when.
do?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean obviously
It was repetitive,
Mhm.
and then my dad went to the store and got me some pills. I don't even know what they were, but they were supposed to help me poop. And I took it and I went back to sleep, and I stayed asleep for I don't even know how long.
She shit herself. Oh,
Okay.
the baby was just
And
born.
then I woke up, and I just kept trying to use the restroom, and I'd go back to sleep, and it's just repetitive.
She had a kid at home.
what happened after that?
What do you mean?
Is she
Alexis
not
keeps
gonna-
asking the detective to explain himself, despite the fact that the questions
not
are
gonna say
simple,
she gave
as if she's
birth.
taking time to think so she can stick to her story.
She's not gonna
Alternatively,
say
she could be
gave
getting to the
birth.
point where she doesn't want to talk about what allegedly happened, possibly because she doesn't have
Oh
a
my
lie
God,
made
she
up to
actually
protect
just
her
tossed
and is
it.
trying to delay.
Bro,
having to-
she
possibly
tossed
because she
him.
could be getting to the point where she doesn't want to talk about what allegedly happened,
Bro, she legit goes, wee.
possibly
What the fuck?
because she doesn't have a lie made up to protect her and is trying to delay having
Bro,
to discuss it.
I don't even
Suspects who answer honestly are more likely
Dude,
to provide.
I don't even throw my garbage with that amount of disrespect.
Verifiable details,
She goes,
i.e. details surrounding time and place.
What the
Note that
fuck?
Alexis cannot, or is reluctant to, provide these types of details throughout the interrogation.
So obviously, I mean, you and I know what happened. I mean,
well, yeah, but like I can't tell you if you like. I'm not a very good explanation.
Okay. So obviously you gave birth to a child.
Right.
I'm trying to find out where it happened, how it happened, or what led to that.
She might be on
and
something
stuff like
because
that.
of the.
Alexis quickly glances upwards at the camera for the first time. This is also the point where she is talking about when and where she gave birth. So for the first time in the interrogation, she wasn't being as forthcoming as before. It appears that she had some awareness that this could be incriminating information, and she was more careful with her responses.
I went to sleep and then I woke up and I went to the restroom and I was just trying, and then it came out and I thought it was poop, and then
it came out.
Okay. So you were where? And you're at your house?
Yeah, I was by myself.
You were by yourself?
Yes.
Oh my God, nobody knows.
I mean, that's not normal, right?
Right.
Okay, what happened after that?
I was in a panic. I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I was scared.
Okay. What did you do after?
I cleaned myself and I just left it where it was, and I was scared and I was trying to call my mom, but I couldn't because I was so scared.
Nah, but go fuck yourself. Oh,
when Alexis recounts giving birth to the child, her voice is shaking and she sounds terrified. There are a few possible things happening here. She sounded particularly frantic when saying she was unable to tell her mother that she had given birth. Even if she has lied during the interrogation, her emotional response here appears to be genuine. She went to great lengths to not only hide her entire pregnancy, but also to hide her delivery.
What made you think that?
Just because I just turned 18. I haven't been 18 for a month. And I'm the baby.
Right.
Alexis gives what sounds like a potential motive for what she did when she states her mother will hate her for being pregnant.
You think your mother won't hate you that you killed her grandson? Like, are you a retard, bro? Are you fucking stupid? It's like, okay, is she gonna be mad at me for giving birth at 18? Maybe. But is she gonna be more mad at me when she finds out that I killed my kid? Bro, like, these are not on the same level of anger, bro. This is not on the same level.
Because she just turned 18.
It's not on the
this
same
may
level,
or may not
bro.
be true, as Alexis has already displayed her propensity to lie.
I understand that's
like,
a lot to take, okay, and that's why I'm here, getting your side of the story. You were home alone, or who was?
No, I was by myself.
You were by yourself. Okay, and this happened where? In the restroom? Your restroom?
How did she, like, did she put
There's one restroom. Okay.
Oh my God, bro, she gave birth by herself?
Or what happened? I mean, obviously...
Like, I was just cleaning. I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Bro, nobody does that.
And I just wrapped it in a
Literally nobody on Earth gives birth by themselves anymore,
Notice
bro.
how Alexis only refers to the child as it, and not as anything else. Not even as the baby or anything like that. She may be trying to distance herself and could be referring to the baby as it unconsciously. This is also known as distancing language, and it's a common human defense mechanism against potential emotional and psychological injury. Part of this could be that she is completely unable to process the situation and is in denial. She could be in such extreme fear of revealing she was pregnant that she entered into some sort of state of partial disassociation. When someone is experiencing disassociation, they may feel as if an event is happening to someone else, and they are just watching everything unfold.
Most teens
will let someone know if they become pregnant, such as their parents or the child's father.
Yo, wait, hold on. She looks a lot like a friend of mine. Yo, the same glasses too. Dylan. Dylan, what the fuck is going on, bro? Nah, he shapeshifted,
But the fact that
bro.
Alexis handled the pregnancy in such a way could show a
Fuck
level
you,
of
bitch.
emotional or psychological
Yeah,
disturbance.
Did you ever thought of contacting, an ambulance, a fire department,
I'm
doctor,
making
and
a
checking it
joke,
out?
I didn't do that. I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Oh, so you threw it in the bin? Like that's ever gonna be the
Scared
right
of
place?
what exactly?
The baby had, like, it was nowhere.
Right, but you're telling me that you knew yesterday, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know it was. I didn't know how, and I didn't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew,
come
but I
on.
didn't know it was coming today.
Right.
She seems to slip up and says she knew about the pregnancy, but then quickly follows up with, I knew, but I didn't know he was coming that day.
So it was unexpected.
Right.
You weren't expecting it to happen.
No.
Did you contact anybody?
No.
Okay, you
Oh,
said
wow.
you would contact your mom?
No, I tried, but I couldn't. I was scared.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a difference between being scared. I mean, I understand you're young, you don't know, obviously, but if both you and I know that pregnancies, they're pretty obvious. Your stomach starts growing, you got several different symptoms and stuff like that.
I didn't know nothing.
Right.
I didn't have nothing. I
Okay.
just thought I was gaining weight. I was eating more. I was nothing changed.
Mm-hmm. So you're in the restroom, you give birth, you wrap it into a towel. What is that? Your towel? Color towel?
I don't even remember, to be honest.
Okay, so what was your next act? What else did you do after that?
I just left and I drove around, and I just put it to where I put it.
No, you didn't put it, bro.
Where are
You
we
threw
talking
it.
about?
What
Put
do
it
you
where?
threw him.
I mean, obviously I know where you went, and you didn't put...
Right, like...
The detective becomes aggressive and pushes back against Alexis's denials. This is the read technique. The detective did everything he could to make her comfortable and get her talking, relying heavily on empathy and minimization. Minimization is a resistance-reducing tactic often utilized in interrogations to decrease suspects' levels of resistance to confess or tell the truth. Law enforcement communicates that what the suspect has done is understandable, even justifiable. Now, the detective is transitioning to a more confrontational approach, since he's gotten what he's needed out of her.
I had the trash bag in the car.
Like, we've seen them do that. When they say, hey, listen, I've hated my kids before, I wanted to kill them before. I understand,
So
and that's the minimization part. You didn't really do that.
I put it in the bag.
You said,
I took it to the car.
I was a young father too. I was very
when
scared.
When I was
I get it.
in the car, I had 2 trash bags.
Okay.
I took one with me, which is the one that I had, and then I put it again, and then I drove around and I didn't know what to do, and I just put it in there.
First, Alexis says the trash bag she put the baby in was already in her car.
I had the trash bag in the car.
While she did say her car was messy, most people don't go around driving with empty trash bags inside their vehicle. Alexis then slips up and says she put it in the bag. Then she took it to the car.
I put it in the bag. I took it to the car.
She realizes her mistake and then tries to cover it up, saying she had 2 trash bags.
I had 2 trash bags.
One she took with her and one already in the car. Here she wants to make the disposing of the baby seem less planned. Alexis's voice trembles as she speaks. When humans grow stressed, the vocal cords may tighten, making speech more difficult. When this happens, listeners often hear some level of wheezing, trembling, strain, or pitch raise in individuals' vocal expression.
Where did you go?
What do you mean?
Where did you drive to?
What did you
mean? I was in that area. I live in that area.
Mm-hmm. So where did you...
Well, in the middle of
where
the
did
day.
you throw the garbage bag?
In the trash.
In the trash?
Alexis completely avoids using the word dumpster and speaks in very general terms to downplay the horrific actions she allegedly took.
Okay, did you lock it up, seal it up?
With the hair tie.
I'm sorry?
With the hair tie.
With the hair tie?
But I don't even think it stuck because it was broke.
Okay. So
we're on the verge of breaking.
Okay, were you by yourself in the car?
I was by myself the whole time.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know if it's alive or dead.
No.
Okay. So you grabbed your hair tie and just wrapped it around the bag? Both bags? Or?
No, just, well, I guess, yeah.
What color was the bag?
Black.
The black bag. So you put the hair tie around the black bag? Alright. I mean, the
like
trash
in the
can.
trash, I just when I tossed it
Was it
in
a
there.
normal trash can? Like
Oh
one
my
of those that
God.
they pick up, the city picks up, or the bigger trash can, or what?
The bigger trash can. What do you mean?
Well, what kind of trash can were we talking about?
Like
There's different.
the bigger ones, I guess.
Okay. What color was the trash can?
Green. Aren't they all green?
So you just went and placed it inside or outside or?
Inside.
The detective is asking her to describe these events and using a very delicate manner in doing so. He knows she will have a hard time owning up to what she allegedly did, so he stays very calm and casual when asking her specifics about how and where the newborn was discarded.
So, obviously, you're 18 years of age. You know right from wrong, right?
Right.
Okay. So,
Oh.
you wrap around a newborn inside a trash
In a
bag.
panic. I just turned 18.
Right,
It's
right.
not like I've been 18
She's
forever.
laughing,
Exactly.
bro. I just
Alexis
turned
says she knows
18.
right from wrong, but she
Come
continues
on,
to try
dog.
to justify her actions by saying that she was afraid and that she just turned 18. She actually smiles at this point. She emphasizes her age a few times
I'm
during
just
the
18.
interview, possibly to imply that she's
I mean,
barely an adult.
You try
She
to
could
kill
also
a
be claiming
baby.
that she
You
allegedly
just
made the
try to
decision
kill
to
a
abandon the
I
baby in a
mean,
dumpster because of her young age and lack of knowledge or awareness
we
of
all
what to
make
do.
mistakes,
This seems to be her attempt to try to dodge the consequences that she imagines are coming.
It's a small mistake.
But you know, I mean, if somebody were to wrap you inside a trash can.
Let's be real. It's a small baby. It's a small life. Small mistake, bro.
And put a tie on it, and you're not able to move.
Well, the tie was
In fact,
broke.
it's a
Like,
tiny
I would
mistake.
be able to stick my hand in there.
What do you think would have happened?
What do you mean?
Just one
So what do you think
tiny,
would have happened?
tiny
You never
mistake.
notified law enforcement. You never called for EMS. You
I
never.
didn't. I'm still in.
What exactly? What do you think was
Oh
going to
my God.
happen?
I don't know.
You don't know what would have happened.
Well, I mean, obviously I know, but
Oh my
and
God.
I'm in a panic. There's a
You're an
baby in front of
adult.
me. I just.
Dude, she's an 18-year-old. She's an adult. She could have went over to the adoption thing. And she could have had it adopted, dude. She could have had it adopted. She's an 18-year-old. She's over the age. I don't think she needs to sign a guardianship or whatever the fuck. Right? Like, she could have tried that.
Okay. You never notified your mom?
Never.
No, you never
could've
notified
tried
anyone.
that.
Nobody.
Okay, so it's not.
Instead, she
it's
just
not
throws it into the trash can.
normal behavior from any reasonable person.
Throw
to do
her.
what you
I don't
did.
know. I don't know what she
What do you
is.
mean?
It's
She
not.
needs to be
In
thrown
a
into the
panic
trash
when I
can.
just turned 18.
Oh, I panicked.
It
You know
still
what? I
isn't,
hope the
though.
judge
We're
panics,
talking
bro.
about a baby.
Well, I know what you mean, but
I hope
like,
the judge panics.
I'm.
And the judge goes, whoa, 50 years.
Armed with a confession, the detective goes back to being confrontational. But when he asks her what she thought would happen, she essentially shrugs her shoulders, which is yet another point that demonstrates she might not grasp the consequences of her suspected
Dude,
actions.
she's talking like a...
This is what the detective is actively probing for. The detective continues to be harsh and confrontational, and it still never appears to faze
Yeah, she
Alexis.
doesn't care. She doesn't give a fuck.
Okay.
She doesn't care.
Let me take a small break, okay?
She hasn't even asked if the baby's alive or dead, bro. She doesn't give a fuck. She hasn't even
I'll
asked.
be right back.
Can my mom come in here?
They know they found
Um,
it, but they don't. She don't even ask.
Well, you're 18, you're of age, okay? So,
Oh.
unless you were juvenile, then that would change things. But give me just a minute, I'll be right back.
Not even while you're out of the room?
Let me see what I can do, okay?
No, the baby was alive.
The
They found
detective
him
has what he
alive,
needs
and they
from her,
called the
and he appears to
police,
be
and they
getting
called
upset or
three
angry.
Three people
By
found the
leaving,
baby
he's
alive.
attempting to de-escalate himself. He
Hopefully,
may also be
the
reaching
baby's
out to the
okay.
prosecutor's office to see
But
what
she
else
threw
they
the
would
kid
like
like
to
this,
get
bro.
from Alexis.
Threw him over the thing, like literally went. Whee! She swung him. She swung him, bro.
Alright,
That
back
was
to
the
where
baby's
we left
first
off.
swing.
I appreciate you, being
Jesus
telling me
Christ.
what happened and stuff. What did you do after the fact? I know. What time more or less was it? Do you remember? Do you recall?
And she speaks like this. I hate that fucking voice.
Maybe somewhere around that time.
Okay, that's when you dropped
Childish
off
has
the baby.
voice.
Somewhere, I believe so, yeah.
Okay. What did you do after
I
the
believe
fact?
so now.
I drove around, continued to drive around.
Continue to drive around. To do what?
To throw the baby.
I don't know,
choose a spot.
to clear my, to figure out what to do.
Bro.
Okay. What else? I mean, where'd you go? Where'd you end up going? What did you do?
I ended up going to my house.
You ended up going to your house. What did you do after?
Dude, when I went to my house, I just sat on my bed and I was trying to figure out what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, bro, I love my mom too. She's a good mom.
At any point, did you make anybody aware of it?
No, I was still in shock.
Okay, nobody found out, nobody knew about it. Okay, were your parents
in America,
back
you can
home at the
abandon a
time?
baby within
You were home
72
alone?
hours of an infant's race. You can leave an infant
When the
at
detective
any
returns,
hospital
he is no longer
without
using
fear
his
of
confrontational
persecution.
tone. While he was out of the room,
And
he
she
either
fucking threw it,
realized or
bro.
was told that
Oh
he
my
needed to
God.
obtain more information from her and wants her to continue speaking to him. So he's returning to the positive confrontation technique.
Did you seek any medical attention or no? Did you think about
So she could have gone to a church. She
what
could
could
have
have
gone
happened?
to a
What
hospital. She could have gone
could
to
end
an
up happening
adoption
to the baby?
shelter.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom said
A
it was
fire
gonna be
station.
okay.
Okay.
She could have left it in front of another
They'll be
person's
briefing
house.
here as we go. So
She chose none of
last
these, bro.
I heard the baby's
She
okay.
threw it in the trash.
Okay. So
This is the first
What
time
a
in the entire
gopher.
interview Alexis gives any indication that she cares about the baby, and the tremble in her voice could be interpreted as an indication of remorse or emotional distress. It could also indicate the presence of relief resulting from knowledge of the possibility of less severe punishment, and she's relieved for her own sake.
California
The
judge
fact
would
that
not
not
even
once
prosecute
has
this
she
woman.
brought up or
Bro,
asked about the condition of the
the way
child
she
only
threw
further
the
shows
kid.
she is completely disassociated from the child, whether that be from shock, lack of caring, or something else entirely.
Like this.
did you ever
Bro,
did it ever cross your mind to let anybody know, contact law enforcement, go back?
I killed my
The detective is trying to ascertain her state of mind after the fact by asking her what she did after and what she was thinking.
She threw the
This is to
kid
get
just
evidence
like
showing
going
she
through my
never had a change of
headphones.
heart or tried to help
That's
the baby in any
illegal.
way. Alexis again shows no remorse.
Okay.
I'm still in shock the whole time. When my parents got home, they just didn't tell them I was still in shock. I
Go
was
to Reno, bro. Come
just
on.
in my
What
room.
the fuck?
In
I
your
didn't want
room.
to read that one.
Okay. Did you ever leave the home
Christ.
afterwards? Did you go anywhere?
No.
Did you talk to your parents when they got
Do
home?
we for the
Yeah,
people who spotted
eventually,
that,
but I
dude?
didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. So your parents had no knowledge.
Those are
No
three
knowledge,
angels right there.
absolutely not.
And what if I were to tell you that they did have knowledge?
What do
they,
you
they
mean?
told me they didn't know about it. What would you say then?
How? Because I didn't even know.
Oh, come on.
Okay. You didn't know, but yesterday you found out?
I mean, what do you mean? Because I feel like we're talking about two different things, and it's not going well.
We're talking
It's not
about
going
the
well for
baby
you,
that
it's
was
going well
thrown
for
in
me.
the trash like
Yeah.
garbage, right? And it's a human being. That's what we're talking about.
My knowledge is when they found out was when the officer showed up at my house.
Okay.
Jesus.
So I'm talking about the knowledge of you being pregnant, obviously.
Oh.
At this point,
Oh.
Alexis tries to make it seem like her
Oh.
earlier statements were a big misunderstanding, which could be a deflection technique or defense mechanism to try and cast doubt on her earlier statements.
Because I know that you knew back when you found out you were pregnant, and it wasn't yesterday. That's what I know.
swear to God it
Okay,
was.
I don't, like I said,
I don't give a fuck
I
about
don't go
what
that
you
route,
said
but I
about,
know,
bro.
and I,
Why would I trust somebody who says I swear to God? Right? Why would I trust somebody who says that and also throws a baby into the fucking trash can? As soon as you do that, I no longer trust you, bro. I don't give a fuck if you swear on your whole family. You just showed me you don't value the thing that is most sacred to you, which is your kids. Your kids are the most sacred thing ever, bro. You don't value them.
do my investigation prior to even talking to you, and coming out here and interviewing you. Okay, as I told you, I'm not here to judge you. There's two sides to the story, but
I'm
you're
here-
come and tell me
I'm
that
here
you
to
found out
judge you,
you
bro.
were pregnant
25
yesterday.
years.
And I know that's a lie.
Well,
25 years in prison.
Sorry.
Go
Continue.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Then
Until
it
you can
changes
no
things
longer be
because
a mother.
I don't appreciate that.
Right. I found out I was pregnant yesterday.
Okay.
Because I heard it. The doctor showed me. I knew back in whenever. But I didn't know. Does that make sense? Like, I was like, oh, it's whatever.
Alexis tries to stick to her story, and uses air quotes to say she knew but didn't know,
What?
which could be her way of using vague statements to deflect from giving a straight answer.
Come on.
According to research, women who effectively deny their pregnancy know but do not feel that they are pregnant. These women often don't go through the typical bonding stage that many women experience while they're pregnant. This may explain somewhat why Alexis appears to be focused on herself and why she doesn't show any empathy for the baby.
So you knew back when is this? What are we talking about?
Back in...
When she is asked when she really found out she was pregnant, Alexis takes a strikingly long pause. This shouldn't be something she has to mull over.
August.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit before that.
Her answer is in August, which is in stark contrast to the original story she was so adamant about.
Right.
I found that out yesterday.
You found that out yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay. So yesterday, whenever you went to the doctor, how far along did they tell you were?
They didn't say.
They didn't tell you?
No.
Okay. So...
That's how I didn't know it was coming
I had a
today.
Furby, bro, when I was a kid.
Alright, so... Obviously, I'm not a girl, I'm a guy.
They would tell you
but
they
I
would
know
learn and shit
women
like
have
that,
menstrual
but
periods.
I don't believe
So,
it.
how can you not know?
I had my
I don't
menstrual
believe
period
they
every
would
month.
learn.
Okay. So that never changed.
They used to
Never.
tell you that they learned and
So,
shit.
but you knew back in August.
I
They were
took
creepy
two. One was
looking.
positive, one was negative. I took the negative, I didn't.
Okay. What about, as far as you, the gaining weight, any movement, anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
The detective becomes more confrontational with her again, as he has likely gotten all the information he came back into the room.
Dude, she doesn't realize how blessed she was to have a pregnancy and to have a birth, no complications, right? She had it by herself. She didn't bleed out. Nothing got ripped open. You know what I mean? Like, bro, she was blessed with a super easy fucking birth. And she fucked up heavy, bro. What the fuck?
For at this
Shut
point,
your ass up.
he has
Go
established
fuck
both
yourself,
prior
bro.
knowledge and
She
her
was
failure to help the
blessed,
newborn,
dude.
as well as establish a fairly clear timeline of events, despite Alexis's
Do you know
denial.
how hard it is, bro,
So,
to give birth? You know how many
back
women
in
die,
June,
bro?
you had an incident. I
The
guess you
shit
ran away
rips,
from home.
they bleed
Or you
out,
have
they have
no-
to...
I guess you could say ran away.
How many
Okay, was
issues
it as a
women
result
have
of this,
giving birth
and
to
you
kids?
having
No.
problems with?
It was a completely
she
different
just-
matter.
Okay.
Bro,
So is this
yeah,
the
no trouble, no
father
trouble,
of your
bro,
baby,
no
the
trouble.
person you were having
And she
issues
threw
with,
it away.
or you were
What do you
sending
mean?
messages to your mom, suicidal messages, saying that you were going to be with God, and cops were
Oh,
called out to your
wow.
address in June.
June, July,
Does
August.
does this have to do? To me, it obviously.
It has nothing to do with him. Absolutely nothing.
This is not the person that is
I-
responsible for your baby,
I
or
have no clue.
I know this is a lot of questions I'm asking. I'm just trying to figure out. Like I said,
Yes,
I'm not
I get
here
what you
to.
mean. Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's not a result of this.
He had nothing to do. It was.
Right. So it's not him. Is there somebody we need to talk to? I mean, did he do something to you?
No.
That
he
would
didn't,
cause
no.
that would lead to this?
No,
Did
no.
he? Did he? No.
No.
Okay, but you do know who is the father of the baby.
Yes.
Okay, but he did.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind sharing his name?
Stephen Astorga.
Okay. Stephen Astorga?
Yes, sir.
Do you happen to know his date of birth by chance?
Bro.
I don't. Sorry.
Do you know more or less how old he is?
He's 16.
Ah!
16 or 17? Y'all dated for how long?
17. About a year and a half.
Okay. So I'm assuming you met in school.
Oh my god, bro.
The detective asks her about the baby's father, 16-year-old Stephen Astorga, but she has no interest
She's
in
a
talking about him
pedo,
either.
bro. She's a pedo.
She'd been more open to answering questions earlier,
She's
but not
18,
anymore.
fucking a 16-year-old
What the detective is
pedo.
doing here is trying to establish alternative
really.
motives for Alexis.
But
Do
we
you mind me
hate her, so
asking what
she's a
happened,
pedo,
or
bro.
what?
She's a
Did y'all
pedo.
break
We hate
up?
her.
We broke up. It
You
just
broke
wasn't
up.
working
Oh,
out.
so she didn't tell
When
him.
did y'all break up?
When?
Mhm.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Oh, I don't
He
even
don't know, bro.
remember.
He don't know.
You don't remember?
He don't know.
More or less? A year ago?
About August, I think.
Around August?
Yeah. sometime
Boy
when
had
at the
no
beginning
clue.
of school.
Okay. So you said things weren't working out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously if you know enough for you to tell me that he's obviously the father of your child, you should have known when you got pregnant, right?
Oh, they had a lot of sex.
Not
That's what
really.
she's trying to say.
But you're able to tell me who it is, so you know.
Well, he was the only one I've ever been with.
A reasonable person would say that you knew when you got pregnant.
Not, with all due respect, not necessarily. Because, I mean...
Okay. I'm just, putting it out there. You give me information, obviously, but he didn't do anything as far as to lead you to do this?
Hey, my boy Steven.
Okay.
Alexis essentially gives a vague response. There could be a reason for this. She admits they broke up in August, around the same time she alleges she found out she was pregnant. It's extremely unlikely these two things are unrelated. When asked if the baby's father made her feel a particular way that might have caused her fear, she denied it. Interestingly, a person with antisocial personality disorder often tries to deflect responsibility or blame others, and they will lie and incriminate others if it means absolving themselves. The fact that Alexis didn't try to blame her parents or the baby's father, despite likely knowing that she could be facing serious consequences for what she did, is an indication that she does not have APD. Although it's impossible to determine from an interrogation alone that Alexis suffers from any specific disorder, she exhibits numerous behaviors that could be viewed through a pathological lens. Intense worry, possible delusion, and past suicidal ideation, for example, could all indicate or play a role in a larger diagnosis, such as either two of the most common mental illnesses in the United States, generalized anxiety disorder and depression.
Oh, come on. But so many people have depression and they don't fucking throw their kids into the trash, bro.
You would be better off without a child because you're too young?
No, Wait. Sorry, go backtrack. What do you mean?
I'm trying to reason as far as
what is in my head? Or
I'm trying to reason your actions. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Oh.
Yeah, a reason behind your actions.
I knew I was too young, but I knew I would be able to do, I'm about to graduate school. School's not my worry. I have a stable job. Money's not a worry for me.
Money's not a worry, so what?
So I would be able to, I if the baby's okay, I want it.
Oh my God.
Okay. And what if I told you the baby was dead? What would change then?
Nothing.
Oh,
and a surprise, out of nowhere, Alexis says that if the baby is healthy and okay, then she wants it back. It's possible that Alexis felt like she could fix or undo what she did by saying that now she would take the baby. This statement may have just been made as a last-ditch effort to make herself look better to the detective, but it doesn't work.
And again, I'm going to ask you, do you need any medical? I know
Bro, she gave birth.
You gave birth, obviously. It's not something normal. It's not something you do every day. Do you need us to call an ambulance out here? My word is your well-being.
Yeah, no, obviously. I know. I don't feel the need, but
you're 18 years of age.
Right.
If anything, you can...
Bro, she was actually blessed.
You can at least get checked out.
It's up to you. Easy birth.
Would my mom be able to take me?
Bro, my mom was dying over my brother and I.
I'm just asking you right now if you need
my mom was in the hospital for 16 hours, bro.
Okay.
So maybe my mom could take me somewhere.
Okay.
No, she's not taking you nowhere, bro.
Let me just take one last break and I'll be right back.
She's taking you straight to jail,
my mom
bitch.
still can't come in here.
Like I said,
your mom is gonna treat you how you treated your son. You see, you treat your son like shit. Your mom treat you like shit.
You're not in here.
Nah, go fuck yourself.
Let me go talk to her.
Actually, he's probably gonna get her inside so that she leaks more stuff. It's a good idea. So she leaks, so she talks to the mom, and we
Throughout
can
this
see
last
if she lied.
portion, Alexis asked repeatedly for her mom. This seems to contradict her prior statement that she didn't reach out to her mom when she gave birth because she was afraid she would hate her. Yet now she wants her mother involved as much as possible. This could give doubt to prior statements that she feared her mother would hate her, and that is why she didn't tell her or ask for her help.
Wait, we gotta bring the mom in.
Alright, Alexis, I'm done as far as any questions for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Bring the mom in.
No?
It actually helps us.
I don't know if you want to wait out in the lobby. I just gotta...
Because the mom can say...
She's in here. I just need to talk to her real quick, and then she'll be out.
And I can't be with her while you talk to her.
Not together. It's just how we work. This is our policy. So...
Yeah, because the mom might say, what do you mean? You told us you were going to give birth in 2 months.
John, you're probably better off sending...
And then that would mean that she did know, and that she did lie, and that she did premeditate it. Should they done?
There is a red flag apparent in Alexis's interview. It was mentioned by the investigator that there was record of her running away from home in June of last year. This is a red flag because this would have been at the beginning of her pregnancy, which indicates that whatever stressor was going on at the time might have triggered the series of events that culminated in Alexis not seeking medical attention throughout her pregnancy, hiding the pregnancy, and ultimately giving birth alone and allegedly leaving the baby to die. It's possible that a stressful event occurred in June, possibly her realizing that the pregnancy was real, and this is where Alexis snapped. Many states, including New Mexico, have safe haven laws that allow mothers or fathers to take an unharmed newborn to a designated drop-off location, such as a local hospital, instead of leaving them somewhere else or doing something they will later regret. It's unlikely that Alexis was aware of such a law, and education may have prevented this tragedy from happening. The police allowing her to be seen by a hospital after her confession is not at all that surprising.
No, she just gave birth.
She'd just given birth without any medical assistance and is just over the age of majority.
Yeah.
She could easily have had a serious infection due to the unsanitary environment she was in when she had the baby. The police likely escorted her and her mother to the hospital to ensure she was not given an opportunity to flee or go elsewhere.
Yep.
Alexis was arrested shortly after the interrogation and charged with attempted first-degree murder and felony abuse of the child, to which she pleaded not guilty at her hearing. The judge placed her on house arrest, only allowing her to leave for school, work, or a medical appointment or counseling sessions. As well, she's not allowed any contact with her newborn child, nor any men that don't live in her house. The most important piece is that Alexis Avila's mother, Martha, publicly claims that the birth came as a shock to the entire family, as they did not know Alexis was pregnant. She later went on to say that she believes her daughter's story and says that everyone makes mistakes. The child, named Saul by Stephen Astorga, is recovering at a hospital in Lubbock, Texas. The baby needed a blood transfusion after being recovered from the dumpster, but is doing well and is expected to be fine. Astorga's family also claims to have not known about the pregnancy. However, according to texts sent to the Daily Mail by a friend of Stephen Astorga's, Alexis told Stephen she was pregnant, but had later told him that she miscarried after they broke up. Nonetheless, the Astorga family is currently fighting for custody of baby Saul. Moreover, Alexis's friends have come out and claimed Alexis had been open about her pregnancy at school before she stopped attending. But with all of this in mind, Alexis Avila has not been convicted of the crime yet, as she is currently awaiting trial.
Oh, okay. She's awaiting trial? Okay. I thought she got away with it, bro. I thought she's awaiting trial. She's gonna get a couple of years in prison, bro. She's gonna get a couple of years in prison, and the Astorga family should have the kid very easily. I mean, the other family might get the kid, but then when she comes back, that's gonna be good. Boys, it's been a good stream. W stream. Everybody clap. Okay, listen, I finally fixed my sleep schedule, boys. I'm gonna go to sleep right now because I'm getting tired. I go to the gym tomorrow. I need to get jacked. Go to the gym and I'll probably